So the protests in Bolivia are getting out of hand. The Bolivian people want the current president, Rodrigo Paz, to resign after 6 months. And keep in mind that he was voted in to stabilize the country. But today, the streets are filled with protesters, blocking major import highways, making it damn near impossible to get anything into the country. Basic goods like eggs, chicken, vegetables, fruit, and debatably one of the most important things, medicine. Now, why are they doing this? Why are they trying to force the president out of the presidency after they elected him? Well, it's simple. He eliminated a fuel subsidy that was in place for 20 years, keeping the gas at 2006 prices. And when he took that out, they basically doubled, almost tripled overnight. You know, they were paying like $1.20 for a liter of gas, and now that same liter is costing them anywhere from near $4 all the way up to like $9 or something like that. Now, Rodrigo Paz, he's trying to implement a strategy that will be a net positive in the long term, but in the short term, it was gonna be kind of a slap in the face to a lot of people, and they're pissed. They're mad. They're really mad. They're like, how are we gonna be able to pay for all of this? We barely get any money. And he's like, whoa, we're gonna raise your wages. And he did. I think it was like $370 a month that they would get. Now is like 470 something, almost $100 raised. But they're still pissed. They're rioting. They're protesting. So after he slapped the working class straight across the face, they decided, you know what, we thought you were gonna be different. You know what, we're gonna rise up and we're gonna overthrow this government. And they've already done that. They've successfully done it twice. They've completely overthrown their government 2 times. But it's pretty obvious that even before Paz, they had a very big budgeting issue. So it wasn't like he came in and destroyed everything. They were already facing severe budgeting problems. Due to the shortages, there have been a total of 4 deaths. Granted, it wasn't because they were starving. It was because they didn't have medical supplies. They didn't have the correct medical supplies to treat these people. And 4 of them have died already. There's people that are lining up to get basic goods. And even at that, they're having a hard time getting those. You know, some of the people that are being affected is not only the government. You know, these people want to make a statement to the government. They don't want to speak to the government. They don't want to negotiate with the government. They want a new leader. But they're hurting people that have their own shops. They have their own stores. They have their own businesses that they need supplies for, and they're completely out of stock. The shelves are like completely empty. So they're actually wanting Rodrigo Paz, the president of Bolivia, to take any actions that he deems necessary to restore stability to the country. So with that support and the support of Congress in their country, he recently got the green light to deploy military to stabilize the country, you know, get rid of these blockades and get goods flowing into the country. You know, it seemed like going in, they definitely voted for him, so he probably had some good strategies that the people actually agreed with. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been voted into the presidency. So when he got in, he started striking gas deals, and that's one of the reasons why he took the subsidy off, so he could recoup some of that money for the government, and with that being able to fund other areas in the government. Now, this is a long-term strategy, obviously. Now, as for the countries that are around Bolivia have their own opinions about it. For example, Argentina, Chile, Honduras, and Costa Rica are siding with President Rodrigo Paz, denouncing the protests, calling them destabilizing. But the countries like Colombia are actually egging on the protests, saying, man, y'all gotta fight for your dignity, your Latin dignity. They're saying that because there are a lot of countries that are aligning with the United States politics, the Trump administration. And it's obvious that the Trump administration has Rodrigo Paz's back because Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, who you all know very well, is condemning the protests, literally saying, we will not allow criminals and drug traffickers to overthrow democratically elected leaders in our hemisphere. So it's safe to say that things are getting out of hand if Marco Rubio is telling them to chill. What do you think? Do you think that they're overreacting for a slight increase in, well, not slight, it's, for example, if in Texas the gasoline is like $3.50, it doubles to $7 overnight, that would piss a lot of people off, wouldn't it? So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. That's pretty much it. I'll be updating you guys on how this starts to develop. That's about it for me. That's all the information I got. I'll see y'all in the next one.